Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Louis Vuitton Toiletry Pouch 26 in the Demi Azur Tahitian collection. Alright, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's start your workout, let's go to work. Whatever it is that you do, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today. Starting with the first question from Poetic Lovestone. I'm curious, what's your take on Hermes? Is a Birkin or a Kelly in your future? These are great questions. I do get asked this quite a bit throughout my channel as well as on Instagram. And as far as a Birkin or a Kelly, do I see them in my future? At this point in time, I do not. And it doesn't mean that I don't love them. I think that they are beautiful handbags. They are very simple. A lot of you know that's something that I always tend to go for. I love the Birkin. I love the shape that it has. I love the Kelly, the history that it has as well. I tend to lean more towards the Kelly versus the Birkin, but I think that they are beautiful nonetheless. They have beautiful handbags. I do love the Evelyn. I do love the Garden Party, and I do appreciate their handbags quite a bit. Like I've mentioned before, they have beautiful leathers. They have excellent, exquisite craftsmanship, and they're very simple. I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, like I mentioned, but hopefully that was able to answer your question. All right, next question from Nicole Martinez. Despite your love for luxe, do you ever find yourself looking at handbags like places like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, or even other contemporary brands like Michael Kors, Kate Spade, Coach, etc.? Love this question, and I do. Absolutely I do. I end up beelining it for the handbags whenever I'm inside of TJ Maxx or Marshalls. I always do. The first place that I hit up are handbags, because I feel that when it comes to those stores, you never know what you're gonna find. It's I'm so excited, and I'm always thinking, I'm always hopeful that I'll be able to find my Marc by Marc Jacobs Groovy Satchel, the original one, because I know that they have reintroduced it, but I'm talking about the Groovy Satchel that had the Marc Jacobs black and white lining on the interior. I know a lot of you guys have heard me talk about the Groovy Satchel before, so I'm always hopeful that I'll be able to find it. But I love seeing some of the brands that you end up seeing at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I like seeing some of the styles because, again, you never know what you're going to find. And when it comes to other contemporary brands, Michael Kors I've gone in there a few times. I more so tend to go for the watches of Michael Kors. I did have a few in my collection. I think I have one left in now. And as far as Kate Spade, when it comes to Kate Spade, I almost feel like it might not even make sense, but I almost feel like Kate Spade is the Chanel of contemporary brands, because there's a very classic sense to it. I love the layout that the boutiques have or that the stores have, and I feel that, you know, some of their designs might be a little too wild for my own taste, but for the most part, I don't know what it is. There is something about it, so I like to call it the Chanel of contemporary brands. I do have some of their jewelry. I have some of their footwear. I did have like a coin pouch or a coin purse a few years ago, and I don't know where it is, and my mom has a Kate Spade bag. She wanted something that was going to be durable. She wanted something that was simple but carried all of her things, and my mom has her handbag is the kitchen sink plus my kitchen sink. It's like a brick. It is heavy. So she wanted something that was going to last, and we ended up picking up a Kate Spade bag for her, and she loves it. So I do love Kate Spade. And Coach, we go in there from time to time. Robert is looking for an all-leather backpack, and I do love the all-leather backpacks that Coach has for men. So we've gone in there a few times, and I haven't really found anything. But oh yeah, I will go. If there's handbags, I will go. There is no brand, there is no store that I am just like, oh, I'm not going in there. No. I hit them all up. So I'm a big fan. So hopefully that was able to answer your question. Next one from Sylvia Diaz. What are your thoughts on designer belts? Do you feel one brand is better quality than another? Any considerations for canvas versus leather material? Great question. And what are my thoughts on designer belts? I love designer belts. I really wish that I can pull them off. Unfortunately for me, I don't have any hips. So since I'm kind of built like a block, or my body frame is like a block, they don't do anything. They end up falling off. It's not a cute look, which I guess is kind of good, because I know that if they did end up working out for me, that's something else that I would end up splurging on. And when it comes to a fashion house that I end up preferring one over the other, I'd probably have to say it'd be between Gucci and Hermes. Hermes H belts, the H belt kit. They are absolutely incredible. The leather that they have, same with Gucci. I really like those. Louis Vuitton also has some great all leather belts. But again, I tend to prefer the Hermes and the Gucci ones over the Louis Vuitton. And when it comes to canvas versus leather for belts, for the longest time, I had been wanting to get my brother a monogram or a Damier Ben belt. You know, I'd been wanting to get him one. I really like the way that it looks, and I know that he likes belts. But then I kind of, you know, when it comes to belts, I can't get past the fact that if it is a canvas belt, I feel that with the movement that you create and the way that you use a belt, I feel that it'll end up cracking. And, you know, my sales associates have said they've never really experienced that, even though the Louis Vuitton canvas belts are leather on the interior and then they're canvas on the exterior. I get that. But I mean, I know the way Robert is with his belts. For example, he wears a belt every single day of his life, and he needs something that is all leather. He has had some in the past that have some type of canvas, not Louis Vuitton, so of course the quality is going to differ. But they end up cracking, the varnish ends up they don't end up wearing, I feel, as well as an all leather belt does. But like I said before, my sales associates tell me, no, they're fine. We've never had an issue. Some of my friends have them. They swear by them. But for me, and I think my own, you know, my own craziness, I can't get past the fact that I feel that it will end up cracking. Again, it might be because of how I see Robert is with his belts. Like I said, I mean, it's not like he's out there grinding it on the floor or anything like that, you know, but I just prefer an all leather belt because I feel that with these types of price tags for luxury belts, I want them to last as long as possible. And between canvas and leather, I most definitely would have to say that leather would outlast canvas. Again, these are just my own 2 cents. So hopefully that was able to answer your question. All right, next one from Don Dent. I am curious if there are any older Louis Vuitton bags that you would like to see make a comeback of any current styles that you would like to see updated. Fantastic question. And I wrote them down because I didn't want to forget them. The older bags that I would like to see reintroduced is the Batignolles. I think that's how you say it, Batignolles. It's a shoulder bag. It's an open tote. If you can, I mean, Google it. It's a beautiful bag. It's very, very simple, and I really, really liked it. I never got the opportunity to purchase one when they were, you know, when they were available. So I do like that style. I once upon a time had the Wilshire. The Wilshire MM, and it was a beautiful tote, but if they did reintroduce it, I would have to say if they can maybe take away the microfiber interior and maybe make some more comfortable shoulder straps, because it was such a heavy bag, but it was a beautiful bag nonetheless. Again, it was a tote. Another one that I would like to see, you know, if they brought back the Tivoli, and a lot of you know that I had the Tivoli way back when. I have always talked about how beautiful that bag was. It was gorgeous, but if they reintroduced it, I would like them to fix the shoulder straps, because they were rolled handles. And when it comes to rolled handles on a bigger bag, it doesn't work out for me and my shoulders. It ends up just rolling right off, and it would drive me crazy. And if they ended up fixing the whole opening and how you know, the zipper pull, I think that if they reintroduced the Tivoli and they just made few adjustments, it would be huge, because it was, again, a beautiful bag. And a current one that I would like to see updated, maybe not updated in the sense of the style, but maybe the print. How about a Speedy? How about a Speedy with the monogram Eclipse? I would be forever happy with that. You know, I feel kind of like what I've talked about in the previous weeks. Now we have the monogram with a black trim. You know, whether you can get them with or without patches, but I feel like we're getting closer and closer and closer to the monogram Eclipse. I'm not trying to start a rumor. You know, I haven't heard anything. If anything, my sales associates have said there's no way that they're ever going to introduce a men's line into a women's line. But crazy things happen at sea, so you never know. I am hopeful. So those are the ones that I can think of. What are some of the bags that you would like to see updated, or what are some of the styles that you would like to see come back, come back into the collection? Because I know that they've pretty much revamped some of the older ones and they've transitioned them. Like, for example, the, what was it? The Soleil. I had that bag. I love that bag. And it almost seems like the Sienna took its place. It looks very similar to it. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. What are some of the bags that you would like to see be incorporated back into the collection? But great question. All right. Just Yenzi. Hopefully I said that correctly. How comfortable are your Chanel ballet flats, and would you buy them again? Could you do a review on them? Wonderful question. And I do have one of my Chanel ballerina flats here for some eye candy. These are the black lambskin with the black patent cap toe. These were a gift from Robert for Christmas, and yeah, as you can see, I have worn them quite a bit. Okay, so how comfortable are they? To be honest, when it comes to ballet flats, I was always really skeptical because I never had a really great positive experience when it came to ballet flats. I don't have wide feet. I don't have narrow feet. I have just, you know, an average width for my foot. And I had other brands that they would kill my feet. They would be so uncomfortable. And when I tried these on at the boutique before Robert bought them for me for Christmas, I was already thinking they're not going to work out. They do have a pretty price tag, I'm not going to lie. And I was thinking, oh man, they're not going to work out. They're going to be so uncomfortable. And then, you know, I won't end up using them. But when I tried them on at the boutique, I was pleasantly surprised because I almost felt, it sounds so stupid, but I felt like Cinderella. When I put my foot in the shoe, I was just like, oh. They felt comfortable, you know, they weren't tight, they weren't anything like that. So they went on the wish list. Robert surprised me for Christmas and I was stoked. And then I was thinking, okay, to break them in, maybe it'll be a little bit longer, but since I had such a great experience when I tried them on, I thought maybe it won't be as bad. I'm not even kidding. It probably took, I don't know, maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes at the most to break these in. It almost felt like they were canvas sneakers as far as how easy they were to break in. And I thought that because of how narrow they seemed to look, that it was going to be a little bit of a hassle. It wasn't, and I really think it's because of the lambskin. The lambskin, even with the espadrilles, they always seem to stretch out, and it almost seems like it molds to your foot. So I love these shoes. They are extremely comfortable, and what I really like about them is that you can wear them with anything. You can wear them with jeans. You can wear them with a dress. What was that? That's Edward. If you if you hear him coming in, the door's open, so he might stroll in here. But anyways, you can wear these with anything. So I highly recommend them. If you do want me to do a review on these, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to do that. But I highly recommend the Chanel Ballet Flat. So hopefully that was able to help. All right, next question from Hi, I'm Shannon. What item was your first luxury designer purchase? Also, how long have you been collecting for? Great questions. My first luxury purchase was my monogram clay. I have had this for eons, it seems like, and you can really tell because it has chipping on the hardware and it's really flat compared to some of the other pieces that I have. And how long have I been collecting for? Oh man, I would have to say probably about 14, 15, 13 years, somewhere around there. But from my first purchase to my second purchase, there was a huge gap because I was in the process of getting my first house and all of my funds, everything was going towards that. And then I also had other responsibilities that I had to take care of. So again, there was a huge gap, but it started way back when. So I think that's a pretty good time. I'm kind of aging myself there, but you know, it is what it is. All right, next question from Lux Lab Life. My sweet furry princess Athena is guilty of what some would consider a horrible sin. Love the name, by the way. She has chewed on the handles of one of my designer handbags. Oh no! Has Sweet Edward Philip caused any damage to any of your designer purchases? Great question. He has never done anything to any of my handbags, but he did to my Prada shoes. I talked about it briefly on my summer essentials. These wedges from Prada, they are like the smooth calfskin, so you could really see a lot of the scratches, and I remember distinctly coming into the house, and I open up the box, I set it down in my room, and here comes Edward and he comes with his wet nose and he puts his nose on the leather right here. You could see that. And I remember looking at it like, oh man, really? They're brand new. But you know, I felt that it added character to my shoes. So every time I wear them, I always think of him. Plus, like I said, it is a smooth calfskin, so it does have quite a bit of wear. And the best thing is that these shoes, I got them for a killer deal. I paid 85 bucks for them. So I didn't get angry or anything like that. I was just kind of like, oh well. And I still rock them, so what does it matter, right? But no, he's never done anything to my handbags. The door is sometimes closed in my room. It depends on the weather that we're having. But he'll come in here, he'll stroll in here, and I have, you know, the wall of bags. I have some of my shoes on the floor, stuff like that, and he doesn't really do anything. So I'm very fortunate that I think he knows. I think he knows how crazy I am about those items, but no, he hasn't done anything. But great question. Next one from Elion Zenith. Hopefully I said that correctly. Minnie, I want your opinion on the Pochette Matisse in Empreinte Pink. I know it was in your wish list. Do you think it will be a classic in the Louis Vuitton collection? I would love to add color to my collection, but I don't want it to be seasonal because I can't afford. Great question, and I did finally get the opportunity to see the Pochette Matisse in the Empreinte rose color, and I think it's a beautiful color, but I ended up passing on it only because of how I end up using my Pochette Matisse in the monogram canvas. I always use it crossbody, and since I do wear quite a bit of jeans, I know that I would end up having a considerable amount of color transfer, so I passed on it. And do I think that it will be in the collection in the lineup for a while? I don't know, and the only reason I say that, of course I can't say with certainty since I don't work for the brand, but the only reason that I feel that it maybe won't be permanent is because with other pinks that they've had in their collections or in the fashion house that have been introduced, there might be some parts that are permanent, but then there's mostly, when they introduce a color, a pink color, it seems to kind of just be seasonal. For example, the Rose Ballerine, when it first came out, it was available in vernis, it was available in Empreinte leather, certain small leather goods, and now they've really just stuck to it being inside of the Neverfulls, but other than that, then there's some small leather goods that have them, but they don't have as much of a variety that they used to have. Same thing with Rose Fizzy, right? Is it Rose Fizzy? It was introduced briefly. There was a few items that came out in it, and then that kind of went out. So I don't know if the Powder Rose is going to be around for a long time. Like I said before, I can't say with certainty, but just going off of their history with pinks, it doesn't look that way. But I would most definitely ask your sales associate if they can give you a little bit more information, or ask the store manager if they can give you information on it as well before you decide to add it to your collection. That way it can, and maybe there's an element that I'm completely bypassing, but that way they'll be able to give you, they'll be able to give you a little bit more info. So hopefully it does stick around because it is a beautiful color, but of course only time will tell. So hopefully that was able to give you a little bit of information. And the last question from Carolina C. I store my handbags in my closet inside their dust bags. Instead of using air paper inside, I bought some inexpensive IKEA pillows and shaped them to fit each handbag. I feel they have been losing their shape after I started storing them with the pillows inside. The canvas feels softer. However, I am not sure if it's a coincidence or normal wear of the handbags. I take care of them a lot, but I feel the shape has changed over time. They are not as structured as before. What do you think about using pillows to store handbags? Do you think it has something to do with them being softer now? This is a great question. And when it comes to using pillows inside of the handbags, or actually any type of material versus, not including air paper, I have kind of been apprehensive to do that, and the only reason I say that is because of where I live. Like I've said before, sometimes it can get a little humid and sometimes it can get a little too hot for comfort. So I feel that if I was to add a fabric, if I was to put a pillow inside of an all leather handbag, or even the canvas bags, they do have leather trimmings, I feel that it might end up creating moisture. It might end up creating mildew, and I know that you can use silica packets to absorb the moisture so that doesn't happen, but again, it's something that I've always been really apprehensive about. And the main reason why I end up going for air paper is because when it comes to air paper, I love the fact that it doesn't add weight to the handbag. So it still allows the handbag to retain its shape, but it doesn't stretch out the handbag. It doesn't do anything like that. And again, it doesn't end up adding the weight to it that a pillow would. But again, I don't have any experience with any of the pillows, so I really can't say with certainty that this is what ends up happening or it'll end up getting mildew or anything like that. So like I said before, it's just the way that I have felt with where I live. But I turn to you guys. If I know there's a few companies out there that make pillows specifically for handbags, and a lot of people love them. But I would really love to ask your guys' opinion, or if you've had experiences like this, or if you've had anything happen to your collections by using the pillows, if they have lost their shape over time as well. If you can let us know in the comments section down below, it would be greatly appreciated. I would be very intrigued to know as well, because it's something that, you know, not everyone is crazy about air paper, and I completely understand that. So if there's another avenue that you can end up using to maintain the shape of your handbags, and maybe let's say down the road they end up losing their shape because of it, I think that would be really beneficial for people to know. But my apologies for not being able to give you, you know, an answer and let you know exactly like, hey, this is what happens with pillows or anything like that, just because of my inexperience with them. But hopefully we get some answers, and again, I would greatly appreciate any input that you guys have in the description, or in the comment section down below. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast answering your questions. Now this week's lineup is a little crazy. I have a million things to do outside of YouTube. I also have, I think, between 4 and 5 videos that I would like to do this week, so they're gonna be I feel like it's gonna be all over the place. I'm trying to stay focused, so hopefully that ends up working out, and because of all the things that I have outside of YouTube that I have to take care of, it might be a little bit difficult for me to respond to comments the way that I normally do. A lot of you know that that's something that I look forward to. I look forward to interacting with you in the comment sections down below. But it doesn't mean that I won't end up reading them. I just might have a harder time responding, especially if I end up doing anywhere from 4 to 5 videos this week. So if that doesn't happen, just trust me, I read every single comment, and then hopefully next week everything can go back to our normally, you know, scheduled type of video lineup where I can respond. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I do have a quick video that I'm going to put up tomorrow. It's kind of like a channel update, and I thought of doing a series, and I feel that it might be beneficial. Maybe it's all in my head, who knows, but if you guys can give me feedback on that, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. I really feel that, again, I feel that it's going to give a lot of information, and you know me, I'm all about information. So thank you again so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on that red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3, 4, 5 times a week. And I will see you all tomorrow. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.